So today I would like to start by introducing our first guest. With me is Umoja co-founder, Dr. Judy Mays. Dr. Mays has helped students at California's community colleges for over 35 years as a counselor and is currently on the board of directors of the Umoja community. Welcome, Dr. Mays. We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Now, I have to ask you, what makes higher education so special to you? How did you find yourself working and staying in higher education for so long?
You know, I had a very humble upbringing, grew up very poor, single mom. There were 6 of us. And there was no push to go to college. And I was the third oldest in my family. My mother would have been just as happy if I had gone to find work, I think. But so I started at community college and, my first experience with a counselor was not a good one. And but I somehow mustered up the courage to go back and meet with a different counselor. So I go back with a different goal. And I take classes and, looking back on it, I think the thing that really kind of helped me to persist was that I took Black history in my first year of community college. I mean, both semesters. And doing that really opened my eyes and showed me that there were, people in my heritage in this country who did great things. And that sort of helped me, develop the backbone and increase my drive and motivation to stay in school. By starting my own educational journey at a community college, I felt like I could go as high as I wanted to go. And it helped me to develop the confidence to transfer to the next level and know that I could complete my 4-year degree. So I'm so happy that I started at community college because it gave me an opportunity to grow and to learn and to figure out what I really wanted to do.
So wonderful. Now, I described Umoja very briefly in the opening of our show, but I'd love for people to hear it in your own words. What is Umoja, and how is it helping so many Black students across the state?
So, what we were essentially trying to do is create a program that would help foster positive cultural identity, promote Black excellence, and first and foremost, that would love on Black students.
Yes.
And so Black students would feel, and other students, because we serve all students, feel embraced and like they belong in that setting. So that's why we need Umoja, and that's essentially what we do. And one of the other things about Umoja, and of course, community colleges across the board, is that we serve a wide age range. Our student population, can range from, 18 to 80, literally. And sometimes the older students can say things to those students that they may not receive from, someone who's their age group.
So what can students expect when they join Umoja, and what does the program offer?
So there are 3 core components to having an Umoja program. One is counseling or student support services. So having a counselor who serves specifically Umoja students and can be, relate to the needs, concerns, and all that stuff that come along with enrolling in California Community College. And there's also an academic component. So specific courses where students can enroll, they're set aside for Umoja students, and students then get a culturally relevant learning experience. So they get a classroom environment where they feel safe and can speak freely. And then the other thing programs are required to do is provide student engagement opportunities. So, and that can show up in a lot of different ways. It's field trips, to other to four-year universities, to local events that are, culturally relevant events. And of course, we take our students to statewide Umoja events, which are just amazing events. One of the things Umoja was designed to do was to help Black students persist in college. That means with having the support system of the community, with having academic support, with having developed positive cultural identity, that helps you to persist and stay in college until you reach your educational goal. So we have a lot of students that we're very proud of who persist because of their experiences in Umoja.
And what do you say to those students that say, this is not for me? I'm not cut for college. What do you say to those students?
That breaks my heart, first of all. And if that student is like a prospective Umoja student, then I would go so far as to say, we have a place for you here. You may have had some experiences in the past where you didn't feel like you belonged in the educational environment. And I definitely understand that, especially being an African-American male or, whatever. Educational environments have not always been friendly to us. But in Umoja, you're going to have a totally different experience. First of all, we're going to love on you. One of our practices is called the ethic of love. And that means that we love you, we embrace you, we want nothing but the best for you, and we want to see you, excel, and we want to see you do well. And we've got amazing, support systems here on campus. We have our basic needs center. There's an additional support program called Educational Opportunity Program. We have classes that you can take that, provide a culturally relevant learning experience for you. So I think you would experience college a little differently if you were to join the Umoja program. So if there's anyone out there listening and maybe their campus isn't fortunate enough to have an Umoja program just yet, what I would encourage them to do is to find a faculty member or an administrator on their campus that they can connect with and talk to them about bringing Umoja to their campus. Because, that is the Chancellor's Office goal, to have Umoja in all 116 California community colleges. So it's just a matter of time.
Well, I'm going to say formally, thank you so much for your time and everything that you do.
Danny, it has been my pleasure speaking with you and having the opportunity to tell a little bit about my story as well as the Umoja story. So thank you.
We are the painters of our world.